Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the weekly Wednesday Wargaming questions and answers. It's an off-the-cuff video, guys. What that means is I record and upload. There is no fancy editing skills. You won't see my intro sim at the beginning. I do have transition buttons, so if there's noise outside of my control, I can stop filming and let it pass and carry on. These weekly Wednesdays essentially are Q&A. You guys ask me questions and I answer them. They are primarily model focused, of which they're primarily GW stuff, 40k. There is terrain questions from time to time. It's the general information about myself, what's going on in the workshop. We have a data card to go through every week, and we have a weekly vote, which I'll get on more onto those when I get to them. First, I want to say there's been an absolute, since last Wednesday, it's been a hectic week. Insanely hectic. Last Thursday, most of the morning, I was out in the yard here just picking things up and moving things safely into a safe place, because Friday morning, they say it was from 6 o'clock in the morning, but when I was coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning, it was just starting then. The biggest storm this country's ever had. It's 130 kilometer an hour winds. Absolutely, savage. So once that had cleared up, once that finished about 12 o'clock, the red warning was lifted. I think it was about 20 past 1. I actually went out. There were loads of places around had no power. We were unaffected. We had power, we had water, no roofs came off, nothing like that. So I went out on the road there and picked up timber. All the trees that had fallen down across the road and people would just cut bits out. I come along, cleared up the rest, because that suits me fine for the fire. Absolutely hectic. I've still got stuff in the yard that was actually where it was secured. It still got out and it was blown around. There's plant pots everywhere and everything like that. That's to be sorted out this weekend. There's still more timber to pick up as well. It's absolutely, so a few farmers are like, you want this, lad, you take this, come and take it. It's like, okay, I'll get it at some point this week. Just that kind of way, because the trees come down their field, they don't need it, don't want it. Get rid of it for me. Okay. It's been very hectic like that. There was one big storm on the Friday, I said, and then the second one I think came in on a Sunday morning. Was Saturday, early hours Sunday morning. It came in. It wasn't that big, the second one, but there's still anything that was loose already was down then. So it's been a very, very hectic week since last week. So Thursday was all spent sorting it out. Friday was a storm of gathering timber. Saturday I can't really film because the farmers are in there, making crash and wallop and noise and everything else. And the moment I come to film on a Saturday, they'll turn up. If I don't film, they disappear for the day. But it's just, and then Sunday is just trying to just get as much done as possible. It needs to be done ready for this coming week, like this week now, in terms of making sure little uniforms are washed for a little while and everyone's work uniforms are washed, and trying to cut timber up that's here in the yard already so I don't get swamped with it later on, because I'll be the only person cutting it. Trying to get other stuff done out there as well. And then of course then Monday's painting video, but again, still so much to do, trying to get bits and pieces of it done. I can't do something that puts, like, move something from here to there to keep it tidy up, but it's in someone's way, the farmer's way or my way or anyone's way coming in and out the yard. So I have to, instead of moving it, I actually have to deal with that. It could be anything. We have an old dryer up on the concrete slab up there. At the back house, a big concrete slab, and the dryer was there. It moved. The whole dryer slid across the concrete. That's and you can see the marks on the concrete where it was blown by the wind. That was from Friday. That's how strong the winds were. Anyway, that's what I've been up to my week so far. Still trying to get this workshop sorted out. I mean, I couldn't do nothing, Friday or Sunday because the storms that are coming in. I don't want to have the door open. The wind blows in and bits are flying everywhere. Paper like swept up and dust flying. So I couldn't do nothing there. yeah, well, hopefully I'll have this done in the next day or so. I'm literally just gonna focus on this today, and then tomorrow I've got a nice little easy video to do for you guys tomorrow, just about basing. You know, someone asked me last week, can I do a video on showing how to do basing? And I was like, yeah, no worries. But then obviously, you know, I didn't realise the storm was coming in. I knew the storm was coming, but I didn't realise there was a lot of work to do beforehand. I didn't think about it. So now I'm going to do that tomorrow. I put down tomorrow's just, you know, so for that viewer that asked me that, and not even that, for the rest of you that go, yeah, I'm actually interested to see how you do yours, because I do it this way, and you know, so that'll be going up tomorrow anyway. We got a game penciled in for Friday, and it'll be a slop and a game. After me running Drukhari last week, Mark must run Drukhari this week, but he's using the new Grotmus detachment, and his list has some Harlequins in it as well. So it's like, wow, that's going to be. I'm running the Necron, the new Grotmus Necron detachment with the Silent King, Doomsday Arc. You know, a few other pieces which I'll go through when it comes to it. And I was looking at rules for that. I think vehicles get +1 to hit when they're shooting. I actually think they get +1 to hit in general, which is nice. And any vehicle that's not Titanic gets the assault keyword and weapons. What that means is they can advance forward and still shoot weapons. So in terms of like Doomsday Arc, it gets heavy if it doesn't move. So if it doesn't move, it gets +1 to hit. It has blast on its big gun. But if it doesn't move, it gets devastating wounds on a big gun. But with that said, they can advance forward D6 inches and still shoot and get +1 to hit. So they'll be hitting on 2s anyway. If I can keep it within 6 inches of the Silent King and have his ability that reroll hit rolls and wound rolls on 1, that's going to be savage, because it's going to be hitting on 2s, re-rolling the 1s first time, wounding probably on 2s most time, re-rolling 1s. Anyway, that's penciled in for Friday, that game. I had to take the car to the mechanics Monday, because I started doing this painting with the car paint video Sunday, but I take the car to the mechanics Monday. That might have to be done on Saturday, because he started doing it, but he done one thing that he thought he'd fix it, and he hasn't fixed it, so now I have to take it back and sort it out. But that's that. Okay. I saw the Genesee Occult's painting video. Is it just okay just to paint models simply? Yeah. You know, you can paint models as simple as you want or as complex as you want. Some models warrant just being painted simply, okay? Other models warrant a little bit more, you know, work to it. But it all depends on you, what you want to do. If you want to go the extra mile, then you go the extra mile. Like, I'll grab this dude off here. Yeah, this is painted simply, but because the colours used, it looks like, oh, it's really elaborate, but it's not. It's very simple. Whereas something like River Swarms, okay, they would be painted up in the same colours as my Tyranids, but I wouldn't be spending, you know, 2 or 3 hours on them. In all honesty, they would probably take me about 25 minutes to paint. I'd be waiting for the paint to dry before I give them a dry brush. So it's very simple, you know, or you can go the extra bit of mile. I think it also, it's up to you, but I think it also warrants on what the model is. You know, if you were painting, for example, Mortarion or Roberto Gilliman or Lionel Johnson, then I would say to you, no, take your time and go the extra bit of mile. You know, the extra mile. If you're painting Ripper Swamps, Termagants, Hummergants, you know, simple things like that, just work away, done. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be beautiful. You know, they're simple models, and they're just, you know, you can just do it very, very simple if you want to. Another question. If I can turn the page, of course I can. This is the one that, and I knew this was going to happen. What do you think about demons going to the Legion codexes? I'll tell you why I'm 50-50 on this. I don't like it because I think it's a disappointment for Demon players. I also think that it's a Games Workshop are selling themselves short of another codex and selling them short of, you know, making more models. However, I think 11th edition is going to come quicker. It's meant to be penciled in for next summer, but I think it's going to become, you know, maybe this sort of time next year. I think it'll be released. Okay. The reason I say that is because they've got rid of that Demon Codex and they folded it in, and they could release the Demon Codex later on. I don't know, but from what we're seeing at the moment, they've put the demons into the Legion Codex, so all the Noble demons are going Death Guard Codex, Khorne demons in the World Eaters Codex, you know, all that sort of stuff. Which for the World Eaters, I think it's a bit of a disappointment because I was kind of hoping they would flesh them right out. So I think we might be getting the 11th edition a bit earlier. It may not even be this time next year. It might be April, May this, you know, next year instead of, you know, June or July. Which, you know, it's not a big issue. Everyone will know before Christmas, and nobody will be getting Christmas presents because they'll be saving those pennies ready to pre-order it. But also, I believe next edition, demons will go back to their own codex, and I believe that it'll be a little bit like Age of Sigmar, where you have all the Nurgle demons in their own book. You know, I think the only unit that would be common between all of them would probably be the Dark Master Balakor. I think he'll be in every single book, and if you take him as the warlord, you can bring other units from, you know, different gods. But I think they might flesh each one out as well, which would be very nice, very, very nice. There's so many options they can do with the demons. It's crazy, but that's what I think, and that's what I hope they're going to do, which would be nice. Imagine plague bearers riding giant slugs, or snap, like your giant slug type things, having some sort of like big rhino, like a rhinoceros, sort of like what the blood crushers are on at the moment, juggernauts, but something like a bit bigger and chunkier, like a proper big massive demon engine like that, which could be World Eaters actually, which would be nice. Anyway, yeah, that's what I think. I think they'll be coming next year. They'll be back with a big bang. Next edition, shall I say? And I do think the next edition will be a bit earlier. I think Games Workshop are really, they're seeing how big this product is, like insane now, and because 40k is the hottest thing around, and I think they're trying to look at the best way to make as much money as possible. So every 3 years new edition, it could end up being every 2.5 years, you know, and then, which is great for us, not in terms of having to buy a new edition, but great for us. It's a new launch box with, you know, shed load of new models, but it's also better for us because that means instead of getting one codex and then 2 or 3 months later another one's coming, you'll be getting one every month. Which would be fantastic, because I don't think they want to have a codex drop and then 2 months later the next edition's coming out. I think they want to have all the codexes out and then have maybe, you know, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months maybe, and then next edition drops, and in that time they can start releasing, you know, other things, and just to try and keep, you know, new Space Marine lieutenants is the common thing. You know, or just, that's what I think anyway. It's a hazy subject. It's a hazy idea I have that they're going to do that, so I say. What I'm going to do now is bring you down and show you a data card. And with demons in mind, I'm going to show you a demon data card today. I don't think I've shown you this card before, but if I have, I do apologise, because I was shown data cards and I wasn't writing them down, and I was like, which one? So now I'm actually writing them down, which ones I've done. I can't remember which one I've done last week actually. I think it's a Necron one. I'll have to go back and look at the playback of last week's Weekly Wednesday. But anyway, I'm going to bring in and show you this one. Right, a great unclean one. Here's the Handsome Devil. So he has a movement of 7, which, you know, is quite far. I do recall these guys having a movement of 4 before, only 4 inches. So 7 inches is quite nice. Toughness 12. So that means a Space Marine shooting at him with a bolt gun is going to be wounded on 6s. Toughness 5. Sorry, save 5+, which is, you know, it's okay, not the greatest. He has 20 wounds. 20. He is a beast. Basically, if you get him up to the central objective, it's going to take a lot to shift him off of it. Leadership of 6+, and he has OC control 5. That's objective control. Now, this lad comes with a host of different weapons. I can't remember which one I think the Plague Flower can be swapped out for the Doomsday Bell. Or the Bile Blade. Yeah, so he comes with Plague Flower, I think, as standard, which is only 6-inch range. But it's D6 +1, with freeze to hit, strength 7, so he's wounding a Space Marine on freeze. It's AP -2, so a Space Marine's 3-up armor save becomes a 5. It's 2 damage each, so each one that gets through unsaved is going to kill a Space Marine. Now, this is the interesting one. Putrid Vomit. Okay? It ignores cover, and it's a torrent weapon. Okay? Range of 12. Attacks is D6 +3. 2s to hit. It's not 2s to hit because it's a torrent weapon. Torrent weapons automatically hit. Strength 5. So it's wounding a Space Marine on freeze still. AP -2. So again, with 5+ armor save for a Space Marine. But it's 1 damage each. So 2 of these get through, it'll kill 1 Space Marine. His melee attacks, Bile Blade, his extra attacks, so you'll get to roll these after you do your sword. Lethal hits, which means when you're rolling to hit, any rolls of a 6 automatically wound. That only has 3 attacks, but it's hitting on 2s. Strength 6, still wounding Space Marine on freeze. AP -2, so same as the, you know, he's Plague Flower, and it's 2 damage again, so one gets through is going to kill Space Marine outright. I'll go for Doomsday Bell first. Doomsday Bell is lethal hits, and it's reverberating summons, which I'll get to tell you what that is in a minute. So 6 attacks, 2s to hit, strength 7, still wounding Space Marine on freeze, AP -1, and it's 2 damage apiece. Now, reverberating summons. Each time a model is destroyed by this weapon, you can select one friendly Plague Bearer's unit within 12 inches of the bearer and return 1 destroyed Plague Bearer model to that unit. So it's quite nice. Not the best, but it's quite nice. But it means you have to have Plague Bearers unit near them, which some people play like that. I don't usually intend to end up with them next to them. But anyway, he's Bile Sword. There's two different modes, strike or sweep. You have to pick one before you roll dice. They both have lethal hits. So the strike has 6 attacks, the sweep has 12. They're both 2+ to hit. Now the strike is strength 8. The sweep is strength 6. So the strike will be wounding Space Marines on 2s, which is tasty. It's AP -2 for the strike. So Space Marines have a 5-up save from that. And it's AP -1 for the sweep. The sweep is only 1 damage, whereas the strike is D6 damage each. So, you know, the strike is the one to pretty much go for if you're taking on big Space Marines and, you know, vehicles and stuff. His abilities: Deadly Demise D6. When he dies, you roll a dice. On roll of 6, he explodes. That means any enemy unit within 6 inches of him will take D6 mortal wounds. He has deep strike, so he can come anywhere on the table as long as he's 9 inches away from the enemy. Shadow of Chaos is the army rule, which basically allows you to deep strike within 6 inches if you're deep striking the demon within your Shadow of Chaos. Your deployment zone is always Shadow of Chaos. If you control more than half of the objectives in No Man's Land, that becomes Shadow of Chaos. If you control half the objectives in your enemy's deployment, which is usually only 1, that becomes Shadow of Chaos. So it means you can start deep striking demons in left, right, and centre. He's a Demon Lord of Nurgle. While a friendly Legionese Demonica, Units with 6 inches of this model. Models in that unit have the 6+ feel no pain ability. Nurgle's Rot, which is a psychic attack. At the end of your movement phase, you can select one enemy unit within 12 inches of this model until the start of your next movement phase. Subtract 1 from the toughness characteristic of the models in that unit. Now, in the rulebook, when you're looking through rules and stuff, this is actually used as an example of these abilities stacking. Okay, so an aura can't stack, but an ability can. So if you had in the example, you have 2 great demons and Nurgle, 2 great unclean ones, and they both pick the same enemy target, the enemy target will be -2 to the toughness, -1 from each one of them. He also has another ability, which is not on this deck card because they added it, I think, I can't remember when they added it to it, but it's on the app. Basically, they always have a 6-inch shadow of chaos around themselves now. While this model has 1 to 7 moves remaining, each time this model makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. And this model has a 4+ invulnerable save, which is going to be hard to wound him anyway, but still 4+ invulnerable save is quite tasty. His keywords are monster, so he's a big monster, so he can fight and he can shoot his weapons in combat as long as it's not blast. He can be shot at when he's in combat. His character, he's a Psyker, he's Chaos, he's Demon, he's a Nurgle. Great and clean one. Okay. So if you don't have a great and clean one and you're interested in getting one, go and check out one of the battle report videos where I played Demons. I'm sure that I've actually played the game, maybe 2 of them in there. You'll see how horrible they are to face. So what I'm going to do now is bring you down and show you the vote. What is the vote? Well, I show you a host of models, and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. In the event of a tie, I do a dice roll. You can vote for as much as you like, but you can't say I vote for everything because it won't count. But you can say I vote for any Space Marine, any Necrons, any Tyranids, any, and that vote will count. There's no Genesis of the Cults in it this week because 1, they won last week, so went up Tuesday, but it should have been up Monday. And 2, I don't have any more Genesis of the Cults to paint. I have Gene Stealers to paint, but they're Tyranids and Genesis of the Cults, so I'm quite pleased with myself. All the models from the Shadow Throne box for the Genesis of the Cults are painted, which is lovely. And the way go back to voting. The way that you cast your vote is you check comment below on this video saying I vote for this or I vote for that. Now, if you're not sure how to spell something because they have really weird names, some of them, just give me a brief description. Okay. There is also a wild card. You'll find out what the wild card is if it wins. And there's Creator's Choice. Creator's Choice is if that wins, then I pick the model. If nobody votes, then I pick the model. Creator's Choice wins automatically. So I'm going to bring down and show you the models now. Right, so we have this guy here. He's Crossbones from Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have the Deathwing Knights, sorry, from the Dark Angel Army. We have the Drukhari Venom. We have the Infernos Marine Special Edition Sergeant, I believe he is. We have Scorpion Destroyer Lord. We have the alternative sculpt of the Scorpion Destroyers. We have the Retributor Squad for the Sisters. We have the River Swarms. I'd be very surprised if they win the vote. It's been a 5-minute video, I think. We have Miss Marvel for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have Scourges for Drukhari. We have the Blade Guard Veterans for the Space Marines. We have the Squad of Sisters. We have Poxwalkers. We have the Lich Guard. We have Legionary Chaos Space Marines, basically. They're not going to be painted up in the specific colours. They're just going to be Black Legion. We have Dr. Octopus for Marvel Crisis Protocol. We have a Canoptic Doomstalker for the Necrons. And there we have it. So I'll check the voting on Saturday about 12 o'clock. Only because some of you will be looking at this video and cast a vote. But it'll actually already be Saturday for me, where you're a day behind me. You're different time zone. Because I used to do it Friday, but then I said no, people do a time zone, so I do it Saturday now, and then I start prepping the model if I need to prep it and sort it out. If you have a question for me, you can chuck a comment below as always. There is no silly questions. Nobody here takes the piss out of anyone because we all started in the hobby. You know, there's some things that people have been doing for years, and as soon as they say to someone else, the other person goes, "Oh, that's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that?" Okay, so you know, it's always great to share ideas and what we do. And if you're not sure about something, always ask. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then you can go on to Unique Wargaming Terrain Facebook page. There's a message button there. Click that and you can message me directly. The other thing I'll say, actually, one more thing. The memberships, I forgot to say this, I actually finished sorting it out, submitted it to them for review, and then they turned it back to me and said, no, we can't accept that because the Gold Star membership, you're not allowed to give any giveaways or lottery or anything like that, raffles or anything like that on there. So I had to take that off and put 2 different things on there. But even though those 2 things are on there, I'm still going to do a giveaway on the Gold Star membership. Okay, I just can't advertise it on there, but it will still be on there. Okay, so if you're new to the channel and seeing this for the first time, guys, hit the subscribe button because it costs you nothing and helps me out in a massive way. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss any videos that I do. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video to more and more people and makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote. Until next time, take it easy.